Hello, hope you're having a great day. Victor here with VC Football, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over my round of 16 predictions. Some of them I got right, and others were terribly wrong, but that's the fun part about it, right? And also stay tuned because I'm going to be going over the quarterfinals draw and also giving my predictions for that stage of the competition. It's going to be a fun one as always, so let's get right into it. Now, if you haven't watched my round of 16 predictions video, why not go watch that first? That way you can react with me as I'm going through every single match. Yep, go ahead, I'll give you a couple of seconds, it's gonna be down here in the description, and I'll also leave a tag up here for you as well. And for those of you who are just here to enjoy the show, let me give you a reminder of what teams I had making it through the round of 16. And we're gonna go through each of them one by one and see exactly how I did. We are going to kick things off going from left to right, and the first match that we have to talk about is Bayern Munich taking on RB Salzburg. And I correctly predicted Bayern Munich would be going through to the quarterfinals. Now, I know it's not the grandest thing, I'm sure you probably had the exact same prediction, and it was a complete landslide with Bayern Munich dominating in the second leg, ending 8-2 on aggregate. Lewandowski in particular was amazing, as he usually is, scoring a hat trick, making him the top goal scorer in the competition so far with 12 goals in 8 matches played. And usually having the top goal scorer goes hand in hand with being the club with the most goals, and that is definitely the case here. Bayern Munich currently have 30 goals so far in the competition, ranked first for the most goals with a very comfortable lead over Man City, who are second at 23. We're not going to spend a lot more time discussing this one. It was completely one-sided. Bayern is a favorite of the competition, so let's keep it moving on to the next match. The next match, Liverpool, who took on Inter Milan, and I had correctly predicted Liverpool would be making it through to the quarterfinals. Now, it was a lot closer than I originally predicted. In the end, on aggregate, Liverpool advances 2-1. But boy was it close, especially in that second leg, and Inter Milan looked well on their way to a comeback after Lautaro Martinez's goal in the second half. But then Alexis Sanchez completely lost his marbles and got himself sent off. Any chance of a comeback for the Italian team was completely off the table once that red card was shown. So in the end, Liverpool will advance. They got the job done in the first leg with those late goals from both Firmino and Salah. Salah in particular again having a great season in the Champions League, having scored 8 goals in 8 matches played. Definitely helps getting into later stages of the Champions League when you have a guy averaging a goal a game. But kudos to Liverpool, on to the next round. Keeping it moving here, I hope you can't hear that bird in the video. You hear him? Oh, now he decides to stop. Okay, anyway. The next match, Manchester City versus Sporting Lisbon, and again, third in a row, correct prediction, Manchester City advancing to the quarterfinals. And really, Manchester City stepped on the gas early because going into the first half of the first leg at the Estadio José de Alvalade, Man City were already up 0-4. So they got the job early, and then it seemed like they just kicked it into neutral for the rest of the tie. So Manchester City on aggregate 5-0, completely one-sided, although I do think it was odd that they weren't able to get a single goal in the return leg. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but as expected, Manchester City, again, one of the stronger teams in the competition this year, and without any issues, going through to the quarterfinals. Keeping it moving here, next match, Real Madrid versus PSG, again, very, very close, but in the end, my prediction was correct. Real Madrid is going through to the quarterfinals. I had personally hyped up this match, but boy did it deliver. What a match to watch, and what a comeback from Los Blancos. Karim Benzema ended the second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu with a hat trick to get Madrid to the next round. After a terrible performance in the first leg at the Parc des Princes, and then with Mbappe scoring in the first half at the Santiago Bernabeu, one wouldn't fault you for thinking that the tie was completely settled and PSG was going to advance to the quarterfinals. But you just cannot count out Real Madrid in the Champions League. You just don't do that. And right from the get-go, Real Madrid fans did a great job of setting the mood with that banner that read, Somos los Reyes de Europa, which translates to, we're the kings of Europe. Coldest thing I have ever seen, letting PSG know that they were going up against the 13-time champions. It was very close, what a fun tie to watch, but in the end, Real Madrid are through to the quarterfinals. Man, the next match is just going to come in and ruin my streak. Manchester United versus Atletico Madrid. I had predicted for the Devils to advance to the next stage of the competition, but Atletico Madrid got the job done 1-2 on aggregate. And if you're a fan of Manchester United, you let me know what is going on with this club, because it just seems like there's problems on the pitch, with the coaches always coming in and out. What is the main problem here? I also had Cristiano Ronaldo as the guy to watch who would be able to make the difference. And after scoring a hat-trick against Tottenham in the Premier League, I thought he was going to go into this match with momentum at his back. And besides a bicycle attempt from Ronaldo, which had that gone in, it would have been mad. Not meant to be though. Manchester United really never looked like they were threatening Atletico Madrid enough. It just never looked like they were going to get on the score sheet despite playing at home. Props to Diego Simeone's men though. They got the job done. They went out there and they actually looked like the more threatening team. Diego Simeone does have plenty of experience at this stage of the competition, and once Atletico Madrid goes ahead on the score sheet, trying to crack that defense is just a job and a half. So good luck with that, even though they're not at their defensive best like they have been in previous seasons. I had Manchester United going through. I got this one wrong, guys. Atletico Madrid is going to be the team to be playing in the quarterfinals. Okay, and now you're going to start seeing a trend here. The next match, Ajax versus Benfica. And again, I got this one wrong, guys. I had Ajax going through to the next round. Erik ten Hag has been a great coach, and throughout this Champions League season, they had not lost a single match going into the second leg. When they needed the win the most, that is when they took their first L of the season. Props to Benfica though, they kept their cool. I mean, they really kind of played a defensive game, but they got the job done, ending 2-3 on aggregate and booking their ticket to the quarterfinals. And all props to Benfica because they are the dark horse of the competition this season. They had it all against them, and I have counted them out more times than I can remember. They had Barcelona in their group stage, got the job done. I counted them out against Ajax, they got the job done. Now they're on to the quarterfinals, and I'm going to really take a hard look and see who they're facing before I count them out again. All kudos to Benfica through to the quarterfinals. And man, I started off so strong, but now, third in a row, the old lady let me down. Juventus versus Villarreal ended 1-4 on aggregate, but I have to give props to Villarreal, who went into that second leg with something to prove. And just when we thought that Spanish teams were done and dusted, Villarreal now makes it 3 teams from La Liga in the quarterfinals. Just wanted to throw that out there. And here we go, guys. The last tie of the round of 16 was Lille versus Chelsea. And finally, back in the green, I got this one correct. Chelsea is advancing 1-4 on aggregate, and Christian Pulisic, I just want to highlight him because he has been a monster and scored again in the second leg. And I also want to give a lot of props to Thomas Tuchel. He is always getting the best out of all of his players, but also keeping a cool head despite all of the problems that are going on with Chelsea currently. I don't want to go into all of the details, but just know Thomas Tuchel deserves a lot of credit for keeping a cool head despite all of the financial, political, all of these different things that he could blame for poor performances, but Chelsea are still getting the job done. Okay guys, so that is the round of 16. I got 5 out of 8 correct. You let me know in the comments below. Is that good? Did I get lucky? I want to know what you think. But now let's move on to the next stage, which is going to be the quarterfinals draw. We know exactly which team will be facing which, and we have the roadmap to the Champions League final this season. And just want to take a moment here, and if you're enjoying the video, be sure to give me a like. It helps out the channel tremendously and lets me know that you want to continue seeing Champions League related videos. So be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on any Champions League related videos in the future. Thanks again, back to the video. Now comes the tough part, for me anyway. Here is the road to Paris, and every team knows exactly what they need to do to make it to the Champions League final this season. The Champions League quarterfinal draw is as follows. Manchester City taking on Atletico Madrid. Benfica versus Liverpool. Chelsea taking on Real Madrid. And finally, Villarreal versus Bayern Munich. And we are going to be starting off with the latter because it is going to be the easiest and quickest prediction. Right here we have Bayern Munich, who is going to advance to the semifinals. The second I saw Villarreal next to Bayern Munich, I already knew that's GG no re. Sorry, Villarreal. Villarreal have had a great season so far in the Champions League, but it runs up until here. When you're going up against a team with Lewandowski, who's the top goal scorer in the season, Villarreal have defensive issues of their own, which are going to be exploited to the maximum by the German side. Bayern Munich have just under double the total number of goals Villarreal have managed in the entire competition. If that doesn't show you the difference in level between these two clubs, I don't know what will. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this one, guys. I have Bayern Munich making it through to the semifinals of the Champions League. Next up on the list, Benfica versus Liverpool. And as I mentioned earlier, Benfica are the dark horse of the competition, and I said I would not be counting them out right away again. But wow, do they have a tough test ahead of them in Liverpool. Liverpool are currently the third best club in the competition for the most goals. Liverpool also have quality players defensively, notably Van Dijk in the back line and Alisson Becker between the sticks. So scoring against them is not an easy task. Liverpool also have the added benefit of playing the second leg at Anfield. Now, despite all of that, every season I like to pick one underdog to liven things up a little bit. And I'm thinking this year it has to be Benfica. Benfica has an enormous task ahead of them, but I like to live on the edge a little bit instead of always picking the safe bet. I am even going to go out on a limb here and predict that Liverpool will have a tough time fighting on two fronts. Liverpool are currently only 1 point behind Manchester City in the Premier League. So I am predicting that their focus will not be entirely there in their European matches. I know it sounds crazy, but maybe I will be vindicated. I have Benfica getting past Liverpool to make it through to the semi-finals. Up next we have Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid, and honestly this was a tough one to make a prediction for. On the one hand, you have Manchester City, who has been on a complete tear both domestically, and they dominated Sporting Lisbon in the round of 16. But on the other hand, you have Atletico Madrid, who may have started the season poorly, but have since then really started to find their form and are starting to click. Also, Los Colchoneros could not have picked the best time for João Felix to start scoring again. The young Portuguese star has 4 goals in his last 5 matches played with Los Colchoneros. That is definitely going to come in handy if he can keep that form going into the quarterfinal matches. Both of these teams are also known for being collective units. Pep Guardiola always drills this into his teams, and Atletico Madrid, that's basically their calling card after going up against Real Madrid and Barcelona for so many years in La Liga. This is a really tough one for me, I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like I'm going to have to make a decision based off of what I have seen this season. For me, I'm going to have to go with last year's runner-up. I have Manchester City making it through to the semi-finals. And last but not least, we have a repeat of last year's semi-final, Chelsea taking on Real Madrid. I also had a poll to see which match you are most excited for, and by far, Chelsea versus Real Madrid is on everybody's do not miss list. Both of these teams could not be more identical in terms of stats. Both have been stellar this season, having only conceded 5 goals each so far in the competition. And if it weren't crazy enough, both teams have also scored the same amount of goals, 17, so far in the competition. Identical in terms of key stats, but what is the difference between this year and last year? Well, starting off with the Blues, they have a lot going on off of the pitch. As I mentioned earlier, politically, they have a lot of issues because of all of the turmoil in the world that I do not want to get into, but this is resulting in financial issues as well. So the big question is going to be, can Tuchel keep his squad calm and focused going into this quarterfinal tie? As for Real Madrid, this is not the same team from last year. Last year, Chelsea completely dominated Real Madrid in both of their matches. But this year, Real Madrid has momentum at their back. They had a huge comeback win against PSG. Benzema is firing on all cylinders, and they also have Vinicius Jr., who has developed tremendously since last year. Having said that, I still think it is a very tough call to make a prediction here, and is probably going to be even closer than Manchester City versus Atletico Madrid. I always love to see the Premier League versus La Liga matchups though, because they're always so fun to watch. The best teams going at it head to head. Okay, so I have to make a prediction. And for me, I think Chelsea just has so much going on off of the pitch that it's going to start affecting them when the pressure comes on. And with Real Madrid, 13-time champions of this competition, you do not want to have anything taking your focus away, because they will smell it and they will come for you. Just ask PSG. It's going to be very close, but I have Real Madrid making it through to the semifinals. Thank you so much. If you made it until the end of the video, be sure to give me a like, subscribe if you have not already to become a VIP of VC Football, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.